Hello, welcome to today's devotional and prophetic word. My name is Patsy, and today's devotional is on Revelations chapter 12, verse 11. And it says, "And they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives even unto death." And in this verse, it's talking about how the saints overcome Satan, how they overcome the accuser of the brethren. And it says that they overcame by the blood of the Lamb. Because of Jesus' sacrifice, that is first and foremost of how we will be overcomers. And if it had not been for his sacrifice, his blood that he shed on the cross, it says by the shedding of blood there is remission of sin, and without the shedding of blood there is no remission of sin. And Jesus was the one and final sacrifice that was made, the perfect sacrifice that was made for us, so that we can be forgiven, we can be reconciled to the Father. And so it takes the sacrifice of Jesus, his blood, and then the next thing it says, and by the word of their testimony. Your testimony carries so much power because you proclaim what Jesus did for you. You are declaring, you are decreeing who he is for you and to you. And I want to encourage y'all to give your testimony, because this is the prophetic word. When you give your testimony, you're going to see that be able to be repeated in somebody else's life, because testimony means testify, to repeat the matter, to retell it. And so you are literally putting the spirit and life of that word back out into the atmosphere, into the presence of the person that's receiving it, and you are giving them graces to receive something that you also received. Your testimony is powerful. And so the devil don't want you to give your testimony. He knows the damage that it does to his kingdom. And so I want to encourage you, give your testimony. And in the last part of that verse is, and they did not love their lives even unto death. I had a young lady who was she was talking to me about some decisions she was going to be making, and she was thinking about going into the mission field and being a missionary. And she says, I don't want to possibly lose my life, or my fingers to be chopped off. And I told her, I said, people who go into the mission field, people who go into other countries where there's a possibility that they could lose their life for the gospel's sake, they have already given their lives before they ever even went. And that's how it should be for us as Christians. We have already given our life to Christ. We say it's yours, it's not ours anymore. It says that I've crucified my flesh. Nevertheless I live, but not myself, but Christ in me is the one who lives. And so we don't love our lives so much that we would not sacrifice our lives for our faith and for Jesus, for what he did for us. And the Bible says that all who live godly shall suffer persecution. And it's not a fun thing to talk about, but we don't love our lives even into the death. And Jesus is our example. When he was in the garden, he said, "Lord, if it's your will, let this cup pass from me." But you know what? He said, "Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." And he became that sacrifice. He sacrificed himself so that there would be a resurrection in the end. And it's the same way with us. We are willing to sacrifice ourselves to Christ, and one day we'll be resurrected too. And so it all starts with the sacrifice of Jesus, the death of Jesus. And then, we give the testimony that he saved us. And then it ends with the death of ourselves, where we die to ourselves and we give our lives to God. And this is how the Bible describes how the saints overcome in the last days, that they will overcome by the blood of the Lamb, the word of their testimony, and they don't love their lives so much that they would shrink back and not stand for who they say they are. They are believers in Jesus Christ. And so I just want to encourage you guys to stand firm in your faith and know that God is with you. He's never going to leave you or forsake you. Give your testimony, give your life to God, because it's the only thing that's going to matter in the end is that we gave our lives to Jesus, and that we trusted him with our lives, and that he loves us and that we love him, and that he knows us and that we know him. I hope this blessed you guys. Good night.